Hello and welcome to another episode of our Sense in Nonsense series. Sense in Nonsense seeks to capture nonsense stories of people who have gone through challenges and have come out at the other end, and when they look back they can make sense of it. So this is me, your host, Jacob Shumwe, anchoring this session today. Welcome. Tell us about yourself and your background.
Okay, my name is Toyin Adesola. I wear multi hats. I'm the executive director of a non-profit focusing on sickle cell disease, which is Sickle Cell Advocacy and Management Initiative. I'm also a coach consultant, advice support consult, and I have an apparel brand called Thrive Avenue. I'm a.k.a. the resident boss, and my story is all about resilience and the capacity to create impact in your environment.
Amazing. You see, I was actually going to ask a question, but you've answered it. But let me follow up on that and say, what would you say defines you?
There are a couple of things. My faith. Without that, I don't think I would have been anywhere. I have a strong belief that I'm here for a purpose, and Christ has given me that capacity regardless of the challenges that come before me. There's a general thing that people always say, that I have enough grace. I've been given a lot of grace to be able to do things. So that's my faith. And then my family. It's not often you have a family that is supportive, despite the fact that you have a chronic health condition. So living with a family that is supportive, that understands, and tries to help you regardless of what is going on, it's important. And lastly, the purpose. Purpose is a determining factor. If you don't know where you're going, then you end up going nowhere.
Anywhere.
That's the reality. So for me, my purpose drives me, and my purpose is to help people, whether you're living with a chronic health condition, a emotional health condition, or just don't have the capacity or strength to persevere. That's my whole mojo or motto, having to help you to stick to it, to thrive and be resilient regardless of what is going on around.
That's very interesting, because you mentioned your faith,
Yes.
first of all, and as the Bible says, it says, "Oh, my grace is sufficient."
Exactly.
So you have received grace, and that grace enables you to be able to do the things that you do.
Exactly.
Plus your family support.
Family support is important. If you don't have family, find that support outside. In the good support.
In the environment,
not support of something negative, but good support that will support you through your tough times.
So faith, family, and purpose. So your purpose is impact. So you are an impact person.
I always say you're not here for yourself, you are here for others.
Interesting. So I guess that can also be related to your faith, because the Bible also says that, "For I know the plans that I have for you, the plans for good, not of evil, and to an expected end."
Yes.
And that expected end is the purpose that you're living.
Yes.
Because you're living a life of purpose in essence.
Yeah, and we have to remember it's not our own, because you always have a tendency, okay, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? But you can't find purpose in you find purpose in God. So it's what is His purpose for you. And that's typically what drives me. Once I understand, it's like a calling. Once I understand that, I'm able to push even my tough times, even my difficult days, I'm able to remember that I'm here for
The
a
purpose.
purpose.
How did you find that?
How did I find it? I found it. It wasn't easy. I think I was about turning 40. My grandmother had said that she was waiting for my book, and I felt this woman was just right. What book? I mean, I'm practically always in the hospital. I'm not done anything in my life. I just sit at home, try and do stuff with my hands, and that's it. And she unfortunately she passed on before she could see that book.
May her soul rest in peace.
And so it's immediately she passed on. I don't know, there was like an aha moment that Toyin, what, you have wasted your life. This woman had expected you to. I was dabbling on something, but I kept telling myself, Toyin, what have you achieved? Toyin, what have you? So when she passed on, I finally decided to sit and write a book. And I'm somebody back then I used to keep a journal. I would write the heck out of that journal, because I was sort of like almost like a lone child, because my only two and my sister was abroad, so it was just me and my parents. So it was almost like I'm the only one in the family, you know. So and because I wasn't able to continue my education, I had to stay at home and all that. So at that moment, when she passed on, I went, so in this book, you should better write it, at least in her memory, you know, which is one of the things I did when I wrote the book. And so I wrote the book, and on one of these shows back then, it's called Fumi Yoda.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Fumi Yoda's show. And so there are people called me one day and said they saw my book and she wants to interview me, wants to meet me and everything. And so I went there and she met me and we had the interview. And so somebody after the interview was like, oh, why don't you be a voice for people with sickle cell? And I was like, voice for sickle cell? Me? Just alone me. I'm still trying to understand myself. Let alone understand other people's issues. But like in a couple of months, I started having this yearning. Like God was telling me, this is what I want you to do. And I was like, nah, I don't I don't have the capacity. I started giving excuses. And you know, when you give excuses, God will find a way to knock on your door.
Yes. They'll come back looking for you.
Exactly. And which is what happened. I was running a cake business then, and the cakes, things were happening to the cakes. Unusual things, burning, spoiling. You know,
it was like you were being sent a message where you were not receiving that message.
Exactly. So customers were complaining, and so my sister said, before you spoil your reputation, you better just
put this
aside and face what she wants you to do. And that's when I started it, and I got a call. I was on Adesola program, I think Woman of Substance or something like that. She had a program back then, and so somebody called me and said after that the show, said he was living all the way in, I think, the Delta State, that he wants to go to university, but his parents don't want him to go to university because he's living with sickle cell, that he's soon going to die anyway. So that hits me like because I come from a supportive family. So to even hear that somebody's family is having that concept of what a person living with sickle cell is, that the person's life is just sit at home and wait while exactly. So that's when I now decided, man, there needs to be a lot of education. So it's in that I got my aha moment of finding purpose. Because in doing all these things for people, even when I used to get sick, I never used to really notice it that much. I was more focused about who needs help, what can I do to provide that support and all that. And I was getting calls then, when we were starting, and so that's why I have moments of finding purpose, helping others. Basically, it is in helping others that you find
your
purpose.
purpose.
It's not in helping yourself.
A life of service.
Yes.
I mean, what I see there is like you said, a light bulb moment, and because so many people are looking for purpose, and they're going out there looking for purpose.
Purpose is not out there.
Not
Purpose
realizing
is
that purpose is in you, and purpose at times is just like your shadow. It's following you, and if you don't look, you don't see it.
Yeah.
But there comes an aha moment. Something happens, a trigger, what I call a trigger, that triggering moment, because there's something in you that is seeking outward expression.
Exactly.
And that aha moment is the trigger that helps you to bring it out.
Exactly.
So it's like you had your aha moment, and then that sort of like, lit a light bulb in you, and you were like, oh, this is my purpose. And you now decided to make it a mission.
Yes.
You mentioned a few things that I just like to get clarity on. You mentioned about your stay in hospital. You mentioned about your sickle cell advocacy that you came across. So what is it about sickle cell and you?
Oh well, I was born with sickle cell 50 years ago, and being born with sickle cell can have its challenges. Some people's own are not so challenging, but my own, I had every single complications associated with sickle cell. Went through blood transfusions almost twice a year or thrice a year, up till now. And I went through pain. The sickle cell pain is the most complication, but the other complication, kidney issues, heart issues, gallstones, stuff like that, and something called leg ulcer or osteomyelitis, which is a long lasting ulcer on your leg, can last from 1 year to 10 years or more, depending on your capacity to find money to heal it, And so I used to go to hospital on a regular basis ever since I was small. Once I am going into crisis, I enter hospital, and once that happens, you're choked. The first thing is that you'll trying to find your vein. They'll choke you up and down with needle. So that was my life. Hospital, finding your vein, giving you drip, giving you blood. You go back. Next time another crisis will come. You have hospital, and the vicious cycle was like that. It was a difficult process, trying to face and understand why God would put such a heavy load on you. It's got to a point that I was almost suicidal. In fact, I think I tried. Luckily, the drug I took was not the type of drug that
would kill
you
instantly.
Exactly. So, because you face a lot of depression, your social life is huge. Your school life, I had to stop secondary school at Form 1. And I was staying at home while everybody, all my friends were moving on with their life. So it was, and you in staff school, people hardly saw me.
Yeah.
If they saw me, it's like glory, hallelujah.
Yes.
So so with that, I had to pivot. Technically, I had to find a way. At one point, I had to tell myself, "Toyin, you can't live like this." And parents being parents, because they saw the challenges I was facing, they tried to protect me.
Yes.
Sometimes you can overprotect.
Yes. Try to wrap you up in cotton wool.
Exactly.
And the likes, and
and so you don't have a life. And so I had to pivot and get to tell them that, look, this is not what I want. Yes, I was doing home lessons, but it wasn't fun. So I decided that, look, everybody's in university, they are leaving. I must enter this university by fire by force. I need to go in to the university. So I had to beg them to get me a teacher who will teach me all the courses I can think of to enter university. So since they said there's a minimum requirement, I decided to go for that minimum requirement so that I don't get overwhelmed with learning stuff, which is what we did. And I did okay, but I was not good in maths. Not because I was not, but when I came to learning maths in school, in primary school, I was hardly ever there. I just remember our teacher, Mr. Odede. That's all I remember. And when he came across me, he always had this that we can't touch this one. That's the attitude. But it was something that you had to fit, and you had to insist that you need to go back to school. Yeah. So I went to Lagos State University. Okay. Because of that mathematics issue. Challenge, yeah. I ended up doing it twice to be able to even get a score. I got a P7, which for those of us who don't understand what a P7 is like, they just let us go.
Let my people go.
Let my people go. They just let us go. You know. Oh well, this is. So I entered that phase and went into Lagos State. By then they were just starting Lagos State University. Okay. And my father knew the VC, so they were like, okay, let's see, is her marks okay enough to enter? What can she do? I got an A2 in economics, so they said, okay, do economics then. Yes. I didn't know that going into economics I'm going to face maths.
Yes. Yes, so, what you're running for seems to be waiting for you somewhere. Yes.
Definitely. So yeah, so that is how I had to pivot and force my parents. I won't want to use the word force, so encourage my parents
and influence
them to be able to allow me, let me go and live a life myself, and that's where.
Interesting, because I'm looking at what toughest moments you faced and how you got through it, but it appears as if there were many tough moments in your life that you've had to face and overcome, and it also looks like you developed the strength that kept you going somehow, because you're still standing, and that actually still standing is the title of the book that you wrote, actually. Your autobiography. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
The autobiography is basically my story. My story growing up, how I was able to overcome the challenges of living with sickle cell, what challenges I faced, because there were so many. As I said, I was at one point I was getting suicidal.
Yes,
it was just a lonely life. And I had to manage the situation as much as possible, because living with sickle cell, as I said, has its issues. And one of the greatest issues that people don't take notice of is the psychological issue. When it comes to living with a chronic health, not just sickle cell, but any chronic health condition. And
so it's like, why me?
Exactly.
Why did this have to happen to me? How do I?
Yes. How do I go out and see my my parents? My family, and sometimes go out. No, you stay with we don't want you to get. You stay with the nanny and stuff like that. So. And multiple times I had to go to hospital.
I think I have a copy of your book here, still standing.
Yes.
So this is still standing. This is an autobiography of Toyin Adesola.
Adesola.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. Toyin Adesola. Her story. If I would encourage you to get a copy of this book.
It's available on Amazon.
Amazon, yes. So you can get a copy of Amazon. This is a story of resilience. This is a story of strength. This is a story of faith This is a story of overcoming against the odds.
And this year is our 20th anniversary of Still Standing, the book.
Fantastic. Can you share a story of when your effort made a real difference?
Oh yeah, there are many, but let me give you one. We had a girl who had a stroke. 9-year-old girl who had a stroke, and we were trying to help her, and so we now admitted her in the hospital. We had to do something. There's something called blood exchange.
Okay.
Which is taking blood, removing blood from you, and taking blood from the blood transfusion packs,
okay.
and putting it back in you.
Yeah.
So they just remove, put back, and so it's very expensive.
Oh, okay.
And
so is that different from a blood transfusion?
Yes, it's different from, because for a blood transfusion they're only giving you the blood.
Right.
This one they're taking your own blood.
Okay.
I'm giving you taking SS out.
Yeah.
I'm giving you AA.
AS. Okay.
AA. No,
yes,
not
okay.
AS.
Okay.
AA blood.
Okay.
Because they want to reduce the number of S in your blood, so that you not have multiple amount of crises. Okay. But here in Nigeria, in UK, it's under health insurance. But here, even if it's under health insurance, you'll be paying an arm and a leg in trying to use that. But we got support, we got donations, and we put her in because she was facing some challenges. So we had to put her in this blood transfusion, and she was much better. And when the mother came, oh gosh, I never felt so. I don't know. I was a bit of mixture of embarrassed and and overwhelmed when she came to. She knelt down before me, thanking me so much. And to me, I just
did what you were able to do in the circumstances.
Exactly. Yes. I did, but that little effort, the woman was so happy. So yes, we've done so many things. Another one is a story of a lady whose husband didn't understand that her sickle cell thing. He just married her. This is semi-illiterate people. So he just married, and he was insisting that she was give birth. So she gave birth and lost the other child because they didn't do proper healthcare money.
Yes.
So she lost. It was a stillbirth. And so we tried to tell the man that he has to be careful with her, not to get her pregnant like that, and when she do take responsibility to take her to the right hospital, let her give birth there and everything. Before we realized it, the girl was pregnant again.
Oh boy! So
we had to, and she couldn't do anything, culture and all that stuff. Yes. So we had to take her to hospital to Lut, where she was taught, how to manage her health, and they did a C-section for her, and she came to thank us with the baby.
Oh wow!
One time, so beautiful baby. Yeah.
The truth of the matter is that you're looking at this thing as little things, but what I found out in life is that your little is huge to somebody else.
Yeah.
Because they don't know, because they haven't experienced. I mean, because of the experience and the challenges that you've gone through and you've overcome, you might look at this little thing that you've done, but that little, I mean, it's just like right in the Bible again, the widow's mite. They said the widow's mite was greater than, the much that the rich man gave. Yeah. Okay. So now, just to wrap up, what would you say? What is a truth that you would like to leave behind after you are gone? Something that you know to be true from your experience that you will leave behind in the world to remember you by.
Okay, God's word is the truth, and His truth will set you free in every situation.
Amazing. So, what would your future self thank you for?
Okay.
Let's say 5 years, 10 years.
Oh, for being the person who listened to God. You had the capacity to listen to God. Yeah. And go ahead with what He instructed you to do. That would be what my future.
Fantastic. So it's listening to God. It's not just listening, but also obeying.
Yes.
Listen and obey.
Yeah.
Amazing. Fantastic. I mean, this has been a great session with our host, with our guest, Toyin Adesola.
Thank you very much for having me.
And this has been phenomenal. This is a story of resilience, strength, courage, action, but most importantly, one of faith.
Yes, great faith with God.
Thank you so much, Toyin, for appearing on this session of Sense in Nonsense. This is a story of one that could have been nonsense, but we've made sense out of it and encourage other people who may be going through this as well, that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.